¿cómo están?
Muy bien.
Muy bien, gracias. We all get to use our español en misa y aquí. Qué bueno. We're going to start a representation of the wonderful miracle of Guadalupe. So we need your ojos, your oídos, and your atención.
Long ago, in a place now called Mexico, the Aztecs were sacrificing people to their gods. The Bishop of Mexico realized he could not convert the Indians. He could not communicate with them, and the Indians did not believe that the white man's God was kind and loving because of the way they had been treated. The bishop prayed that God would intervene so that he could help the people. In the meantime, the Indians kept worshiping their pagan gods and sacrificing their own people. They still built pyramids and held their own religious rituals. They still could not communicate with the white men. The bishop wished he could do more, until one day,
in Mexico, there lived an Indian named Juan Diego. Juan Diego listened to the friars talking about one God who is kind and loving like a father. Juan Diego became a Christian and was faithful to his new religion. Every Saturday, he went to the church of Santiago to pray at the Mass in honor of the Mother of God. He would stay for the great celebration of Mass on Sunday.
One day, on the 9th of December of 1531, just before daybreak, Juan Diego put on his tilma and set off to Mass. When he neared the hill of Tepeyac, he heard a choir of birds singing. As he looked, he saw a brilliant cloud. The cloud exploded in rays of color. The music stopped, and Juan Diego heard the sweet voice of a woman speaking his own language.
Juan saw a beautiful lady. She looked like she was standing in front of the sun.
Juan Diego, smallest and most beloved of my sons, where are you going? I am on my way to church to hear Mass about the Mother of God. My very dear son, I want you to know that I am the Mother of God, and I have a very important message to give you. I want you to listen carefully. I wish to have a church built here where I can show my love to all of your people, the Indians. You must go at once to the house of the Bishop of Mexico and tell him that I have sent you this request. Tell him that he must build a church here right away. Tell him all you have seen and heard.
Juan Diego pushed his way through the crowds of the city of Mexico. Finally, he found the bishop's house.
See, Cat, I have important business for His Excellency the Bishop.
There were many people waiting to see the bishop. Juan Diego waited under a tree. He waited and waited. The friar returned to question him. Juan told him all about the lady. Still, Juan Diego waited. Late in the afternoon, he returned.
He led Juan Diego to a bare room. Sitting on a raised throne sat the bishop.
What is it that you wish of us, my son? Only that you build a church for the Mother of God who spoke to me on the hillside of Tepeyac.
The guards laughed. The bishop raised his hand and they grew silent.
Tell me again, my son. What did you say?
Juan told the bishop everything that had happened.
I will think about it.
Juan Diego was let out through the gate. He had failed. He was tired and sad. He went to tell the lady of his failure. She was waiting for him in the same spot.
Oh, beautiful lady, I have failed. I am sure the bishop didn't forgive me, but he did tell me to return in a few days. Maybe you should send a nobleman rather than a poor parish farmer. My beloved son, I have many messengers I could send, but it is you I need and want for this purpose. Go home now to your village, but tomorrow go back to the bishop and tell him that I demand his holy church here in this very place. I'll do my little. Please wait for me here tomorrow to send me the sun. I'll bring him good news. Leave me alone.
Juan Diego lived with his Uncle Bernardino, whom he loved very much. He was his only living relative and was also a Christian. Juan Diego was up before daybreak. After praying, he set out once more to the bishop's house. After knocking, he waited and waited to see the bishop.
Why have you come back so soon? Didn't I tell you I needed many days to think about this matter? Sometimes then.
He questioned Juan Diego again and was impressed with his sincere answers.
Come on, I can't just build a church. I need a sign that it is truly the Mother of God speaking to you, that it is her wish that a church be built. Of course, your lordship, just choose a sign and I'm sure Our Lady will be happy to provide it. Let her choose the sign.
The bishop told his guards to follow Juan Diego. But he disappeared from their sight as soon as he crossed the bridge. They returned to tell the bishop what had happened.
Juan had no idea he had been followed. He told the lady everything that had happened.
Gracias, Wendy. Tomorrow, and I will give you the sign that the bishop wants.
As Juan Diego approached his home, his neighbors were there waiting.
Juan loved his uncle like a father, so he rushed to his side. All night and the next day, he tried to help his uncle.
Juan Diego, please bring me El Padre.
He decided to go toward the Church of Santiago to fetch a priest so that his uncle could be given the last blessings. As he approached Tepeyac, he remembered about the lady. Quickly, he decided he must get the priest first. Surely she would understand.
Juan Diego took the path at the bottom of the hill. Just as he came around the corner, he saw her. Juan Diego fell on the ground and covered his face with his turban.
Where are you going, my little son?
Her voice was gentle.
I'm on my way to the church to fetch a priest. Do you think I'm going to neglect someone I love so much? Especially when you are doing so by putting your thumb on and bring them to me. I will tell you what to do and say.
It was winter. Juan knew that no roses grew on the hillside, but he believed the lady with his whole heart. When he got to the top of the hill, there was the most beautiful garden he had ever seen. Roses of Castile as far as he could see. He cut the best blooms and filled his tilma. He then returned to the lady. She was waiting.
The lady took the roses, rearranged them, and put them back in Juan's tilma. Then she tied it around his neck.
This is the sign the bishop wants. Go quickly and do not stop along the way. Do not show anybody what you are carrying. When he sees the sign, he will build the church.
For the third time, Juan Diego set off to see the bishop. Juan Diego refused to show anyone what he was carrying. He waited and waited. The hour grew very late. Finally, the guards brought him before the bishop.
I have the sign you asked for, Your Excellency.
He opened his tilma and let the roses cascade to the carpet. Juan Diego stood, holding open the tilma. Suddenly, he realized that no one was looking at the roses. Everyone was looking at his tilma. Juan Diego looked down. His rough, cactus fiber tilma had been changed into a painting of the lady, just as he had last seen her at the foot of Tepeyac.
Forgive me, my dear son, for my doubt.
The bishop helped Juan Diego untie his tilma. He showed the tilma to everyone, and a procession was formed with the bishop holding the miraculous painting. After the procession, the bishop had a long conversation alone with Juan Diego. He carefully wrote everything down.
Then the bishop sent some people with Juan Diego to see if his uncle had indeed been cured. Sure enough, Juan Bernardino was waiting.
The story began. I am fine. A beautiful lady appeared to me at the point of death and told me that a church was to be built on the hillside of Tepeyac. That is where I saw her. She said that it was her wish for the holy image to be known as Our Lady Maria Guadalupe.
In the space of a few days, an adobe chapel was built at the foot of Tepeyac.
The miraculous painting was placed there, and a hut was built for Juan Diego. Juan Diego spent the rest of his life taking care of his shrine.
Eventually, a great church was built there, and to this very day, millions and millions of people come to see the miraculous image in Mexico City.
he did to Juan Diego.
Let nothing alter your hearts. Am I not here with your mother? Are you not under my shadow of protection? In the folds of my mantle? In the crossing of my arms? Is there anything else that you need?
The Our Lady of Guadalupe Choir would like to present to you facts about the tilma of Juan Diego.
The temperature of Juan Diego's tilma, made of material that comes from fibers of the Maggie cactus, maintains a constant temperature of 98.6 degrees, the same as that of a living human body.
One of the doctors who analyzed the tilma placed his stethoscope below the black band at Mary's waist and heard the rhythmic beats at 115 pulses per minute, the same as that of a baby in the middle of the womb. No sign of pain has been discovered on the tilma. From a distance of 3 to 4 inches from the image, one can see only the cactus fibers of the material. The colors disappear. The rough material of the tilma has a lifespan of no more than 20 to 30 years. Several centuries ago, a replica of the image was painted on an identical piece of Maggie cloth, and it disintegrated after several decades. Nonetheless, during the almost 500 years of the miracle, the cloth with the image of Mary remains as strong as it was on the first day. Science cannot explain why the material has not disintegrated. In the year 1791, muriatic acid accidentally spilled on the upper right side of the tilma. During the period of 30 days, without any special treatment, the affected fabric reconstituted itself miraculously.
The stars that appear on the mantle of Mary reflect the exact configurations and positions that could be seen in the sky of Mexico on the day the miracle happened.
In the year 1921, a man concealed a high caliban in a flower arrangement and placed it at the feet of the tilma. The explosion destroyed everything around him, except for the tilma, which remained intact.
In the eyes of Mary, only about 1/3 of an inch inside, minuscule figures were discovered that no artist could have painted. The same scene is repeated in each eye. Using digital technology, the images in the eyes were launched many times, revealing that each eye reflected the figure of the Indian Juan Diego opening his tilma in front of bishops and Guadalupe. Sister Mary Guadalupe, this song we learned for you on your feast day.
We also have another Spanish Christmas carol for you.
On behalf of the 6th grade class and the 6th grade parents, we would like to present Senora Amilu, Sister Mary Michael, and Mr. Thompson with these gifts for making this play possible.
Guadalupe, the 6th grade class has a present for you.
I also want to thank the 6th grade class for being so cooperative. They worked very, very hard over the last several weeks. They came up with their outfits. I love the choir. They worked very hard learning the songs, even going totally out of their way to get the music for the songs, which we didn't have. So Elizabeth could play the violin, and then our two guitars joined her. And I want to especially thank my managers, Nicole, Brendan, and Liam. They helped a lot. You have no idea how much work they had to do behind the scenes for it all to come together. And I present to you the magnificent 6th grade class.
Sister Maria Guadalupe, not only did we have an awesome performance from the 6th grade for you on your feast day, which is special this year, we also have lots of goodies for you coming this way. So happy feast day, sister, and enjoy. I'm sure you will.